welcome back for the second tutorial about this article that I've just written on how to build a FastAPI that expose NLP features through what I call machine learning models with the help of SPACY, and especially with to leveraging on the SQLite database. I mean, whatever, MySQL or SQLite, with the help of SQLAlchemy, and sometimes to put a Streamline application on the top of it. That was the first video. This time I'm going to go quicker to the second example. This one is directly taken from the Tiagolo website, and I think I've already given the SQL database FastAPI, I think. You can really type directly. Yeah, that's this one. So you just grab the code. And I've made this. I didn't put it in the real structure of the using, but it's very easy to understand how to build an API. So what basically I've done is that if I open I give all the information. So you see, like the previous video, I've created an environment, which was you're normally in base. So if I, for instance, deactivated I go back to base, and then, but for this environment and for these files, I need to activate. So I will redo from the scratch. I use this this environment. All the elements from the environment are right here in the requirement, and then I just need to load the main. So basically, as I'm right here in this directory, I can load unicorn main.app, which is this one declared right here, and it's going to create a database. I think if I remove this database, it will create it automatically. So let's do it. What's happened? I'm not in the correct directory. So basically, I'm going to change my directory. It should be here. I always code and paste in commands, so that's the reason why you cannot do the right command, because you can't find the main PHP, and so you cannot load right here. So it's working, and then you just need to go in the doc to access to the API. That will, and you can also do redoc. Okay. So basically, that's the example where you have access to a user base. So right here is reading all the user. I think he's, let's see what he's doing exactly. This one gets all the users, and it's gonna create the users. This one is gonna read the users based on the ID. This one is gonna list the user. And items, because you have elements of items. So let's pretend I'm going to create a user. So you try out and you say test YouTube at test.com and say, okay, password will be YouTube. Execute. Okay, he's made email is already registered. I guess test YouTube. Yeah. So let's do. Yeah, I've clicked 2 times. So this one, yeah, this one is good. Okay, test 2, and then if I reload, okay, you have test 2. So it's words that's working. And you see that it's very easy to create a kind of post API, and like, for instance, editing this based on the on the ID. So let's take the 2, for instance, try out. I will call the 2. And then you see he has taken this one, so I can edit it. I can think about editing this element, okay? And items, that's things that are connected to items. So for instance, I want to add item through the 2 and say, okay, device 1 for user ID 2, and then I save it. And then he has created the database, and I should have different tables. Yeah, you see items been created. Sorry, it was created before, but there was no element, and you see it has been connected, and the owner ID is 2. So you see, you have all the concept of relational database, and that can be accessible through API. So it's very interesting. Then you can leverage on this example and try to think about a new way to organize your data to create your own database for your own usage. Okay. And there's also, so this is SQLAlchemy. I'm gonna make a quick explanation. There's some other ORM, which is the definition that I've given right here, kind of help you out to create your own querying system of querying. It's an object relation and mapping that help you to query a database. So for instance, you have what they call Peewee, and this time, so this is this one, Peewee. That's another system, but basically it's always the same principle. And then I can launch, I think this one, that's, yeah, that's a more, well, that's exactly the same database that I have. Let's see the entrance. This is the models. So this is the way you write down users, the table users and items that would be created at the moment you start to launch the stuff, because then you will create the database and you have access again to an application. So you just have to reload this one. You have, let's say, let's pretend welcome here, just to prove you. I think I'm gonna change it right away. Let's say title equal YouTube demo with Peewee with, should be better. You see, so you can interact with your stuff. That's the privilege of using YouTube. Oh, sorry, that's the privilege using FastAPI, which is pretty simple. Like for instance, you can do whatever you want, and it's reloading automatically, and then it will create. That's exactly the same principle that you have. Okay, but basically, you're using another ORM to grab and record the data. Okay. So that's it for this video. If you like my work, I know I don't give much explanation on the code because I consider that the logic is inside the code. So I invite you to download and to use the code that is available right here. So I was presenting you the 5 and the 7s. That's here, the 5s and the 7s. But basically, it's pretty easy to use FastAPI and to build up an API that is backed by a database, both with ORM like SQLAlchemy or Peewee. And it's very easy to start from this element and to start from this expression and to leverage on it to create your own API if you need it. Okay, and the last example, I'm going to use this time Docker, and I'm going to present a kind of connection between MySQL, which is a very famous database system that is used, for instance, by WordPress. Okay, so see you in a minute. And then if you enjoy my work, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And then you have all the explanation. And don't forget also to take the element that is available on code on my GitHub account. See you then. Bye-bye.